want you to put yourself in 2K's shoes. The date is October 21st, 2019. You're just about to release 2K20 and everything is going pretty well. You don't like the fact that Becky Lynch is on the cover? The career mode looks interesting, and for the most part the game's being received positively. So what could possibly go wrong? Then you remember you forgot to playtest the game. Fast forward a few months, 2K's in some hot water. 2K20 was a bigger disaster than, well, 2020. 2K21 has been scrapped, and now 2K are scrambling around trying to figure out what to make next. So what do? Do you A, take a year out to develop a better game, B, make Fortnite but with wrestling, C, get the license up, or option D, who am I kidding, you know the answer's B. You just want a million photos! WWE Battlegrounds was announced on April 27th to a, mixed reaction to say the least, but the game was going to be a breath of fresh air.
Finally, some fresh air. Is there a problem, officer?
How the fuck did you get here? It was an over-the-top arcade game with an emphasis on ridiculous gameplay and alligators?
Was that the bite of 87?
However, the second fans caught a glimpse of this game, it almost instantly drew a comparison to the cult classic WWE All-Stars. Both had arcadey elements, both had insane moves, and both had some, awkward facials, so naturally I came up with a completely original idea to compare these two games together and have them fight it out in order to see which's better in a big old death battle. For legal reasons, that was a joke. Please don't sue me or restrict.
Hold it!
Now, as always, the games are going to be judged on 5 different aspects, which I think combine to make a good wrestling game. Also, if you disagree with anything I say in this video, please feel free to email me your complaints, where they will be taken extremely seriously.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Now, both games were a drastic change visually from what the fans were used to. Like when All-Stars came out, we went from something relatively normal to wrestlers looking like they have about 6 bowls of steroids for breakfast. Much in the same train of thought, Battlegrounds had a similar approach to the design, this time making the brave decision to apparently give everyone dwarfism.
Why is it okay for women to say, oh, you're 5 feet on dating sites, you should be dead? That's okay!
Obviously, both of these games were deliberately designed to look the ways they do. With All-Stars, the whole selling point was it was going to be legends versus the modern superstars. So the point was to make these guys look like massive, unstoppable titans with... Hey, wait a minute. Hang on, pause. Enhance that image. Do you see it? How about now? And Battlegrounds specifically designed its characters to look like Funko Pops, which of course is, something everyone loves.
Hey, yo, what you saying, big man?
But while both these games have their faults, there is a very clear winner here. You see, even though I'm convinced Sean's hair is made out of 90% clay, All-Stars still looks absolutely first class. The entrances are great, feeling extremely dynamic and energetic, which captures the tone of the game really well. I mean, just look at this strut, boy. It's not just the entrances though, because all the in-ring action looks mental as well. Like pro wrestling mixed in with neon lights and a heavy portion of ecstasy. The game makes the most mundane moves look like they could reconstruct your entire torso, and goes out of its way to make signatures and finishers feel about as devastating as losing on Hexagon. Plus, they've even put in the SmackDown Fist Arena. How could you possibly not love that?
Man, SmackDown is really into fisting.
Whereas with Battlegrounds, I feel like 2K told Saber Interactive to turn up the saturation, make every character look as lifeless as humanly possible, throw in some particle effects, and bish bash bosh, you've got a game on your hands, lads.
Started naked, had a breakdown. Bon appetit.
Okay, to be fair, it doesn't look terrible. Like, I can appreciate the creativity going into each arena, making them look all incredibly unique from each other. Special shout out to my man just chilling with his barbecue. And some of the moves look pretty decent, but that really doesn't hide the fact that none of the characters actually look like the wrestlers are supposed to be. Sure, some don't look too bad, but then you get the likes of Alistair, I draw my tattoos on with a Sharpie Black, manically depressed Roman Reigns, and Tesco value Shinsuke Nakamura. It's baffling how bad some of these look, which definitely isn't helped by the fact that most of the entrances fall flat with the wrestlers having really stilted movements and making little to no facial expressions besides opening and closing their mouths. Then we get to the in-ring stuff, and as I said, a lot of the moves do look alright. right. It's just a shame there's about 600 other things happening on screen at the exact same time. Constant button prompts, a pie chart on the ground, endless shaky cam, and a barrage of so many flashing lights and bright colours that I can feel my retinas burning out just editing this video. It's like the game's throwing so much shit on screen all at once, trying to keep the player's attention for longer than 10 nanoseconds. And before anyone says All-Stars did the same thing with the lighting, yeah, it did. Okay, you got me on that one. But at least in that game, they were used sparingly, only to emphasize finisher and signature moves along with the occasional stored strike. Not every 5 seconds like in Battlegrounds. Basically, what I'm saying is, All-Stars wins the first round.